G'day, it's Mark Grogan from O'Neill Real Estate, and this is number 32 Redtingle Road in Camillo. We have a 3-bedroom home sitting on 686 square metres of land, and look how flippin' wide this little bit of it is. Ooh, we've got some options with this one, folks. Let's go and see what is happening here. This is a very practical situation, that is for sure. We have a home that is neat and tidy. I'm going to show you all the details. I'm going to show you all the good stuff. I might even show you some of the bad stuff. Not that there's a great deal of that, but we will have a look at all of it in a whole bunch of detail. Firstly, you don't see that too often anymore. That's the kind of glass we've got at the front because it is original, very original, this home, and a whole lot of cool things going on with this one. Very original, but very well maintained. And we are going to go and look at all of it as we go. So here we have the main living area. Down here, we have the bedrooms. It's about as simple as that. Out the back, we have an enclosed patio. That's been there for a lot of years, and it is still a functional part of everyday life here at 32 Redtingle Road in Camillo. Now, we'll start in here because, well, we're here. So this is the kitchen. Still the original in this portion, and then this, I would say, was updated in about 1982. So we'll call that the new bit, but hey, it's showing some signs of age as well. One thing I will say though, is it is spotlessly clean. It is a very neat and tidy, well cared for owner-occupied home, and we've got the gas oven and stove, the range hood, space there for a fridge, although the fridge has been placed out here in the laundry. So we'll see that as we come back through. And you've got this living area here. Now, that heater is, again, this house is being sold on an as-is, where-is basis. That is an old heater. That looks like the ones that we had in my Year 2 classroom at Armidale Primary School back in 1992. But apparently, very effective at warming the house and doing it pretty quickly. That is the old alarm system there. I'd love to tell you the story about those. Can I tell you the story? You can skip along if it's too boring. 1993-94, FAI Security Systems went around door to door selling alarms, and they sold an absolute truckload of them. They were about $700 for that and one sensor plus a fob opening, setting button. And that was the system, and they installed them everywhere. And then they went bankrupt, and all the systems stopped working. So about 1 in 5 houses that I sell has one of those things still on the wall, and no one can service them. They were a battery backup. They didn't work. What does work from a security point of view is the roller shutters. They're a fantastic feature, although having said that, you've also got the security screens as well. So the roller shutters are a very convenient and practical way of protecting a home for starters, but well, that's like one element of it. They make it darker, they make it cooler, and they are a very good feature. So you've got electric roller shutters on those 2 windows plus the bedrooms as well. So that is very good. That room has the roller shutters, that room has the roller shutters, and this one in here, it doesn't need it because it backs onto the patio, so it's already darker. That's what is happening with your living space, and then you come through to the main bedroom. That's a king-size bed that's there, so ample space to work with. It's even got the built-in furniture, folks. Look at that. That is staying. It does feel like a bit of a 1970s motel experience, but that is staying because that is built in. You can unbuild it in if it's not your style. But I hope it is your style. I hope you go, oh, that is actually my vibe. Correction, it's not built in. Is it built in? Sorry, the real estate agent should check this stuff before he goes and says it. It's not built in, but I think it can stay. There you go. Your choice, folks, your choice. We have the big built-in wardrobe across there. And again, a nice natural light through here. Nice outlook across the front garden from here as well. There's also a heater on the wall. That's like a radiator-style heater. It's a very climate-controlled home, this one. There's evaporative air conditioning through, as well as the panels on the wall for that, and the roller shutters. Pretty efficient way of looking after it. This bedroom here is bedroom number 2. It also has the built-in wardrobes. And bedroom number 3, with the original carpet too, I've got to say, and like, original, but this bit over here, this had a cupboard on the top of it, and I reckon that has never even been walked on. There's a good chance that that is essentially brand new carpet there. So, I mean, I'm not advertising it as brand new carpet, so you can't get me there, but gee, it's not in bad nick. I've got to tell you, the whole place is in really good condition. The bathroom, we have the vanity. Another one of those heat radiator panels. And the shower. Now, do not adjust your set. That is a purple soap dish there. Those are matching purple taps. So it's got that going for it. The dark blue tiles not at all clashing with the mauve tiles of the shower. Now, that's not super modern, but I'll tell you what, it is functional. Like, you could move in here and not have to do anything for ages. Everything about it is clean, neat, functional, working, and good. It could do with modernizing if you want it to look modern, but if you like the retro vibes of this style, then it works. It absolutely works. Another thing you got with the those alarms was the stickers. So, sophisticated electronic surveillance protects this property. Oh no, I'm not welcome. And the peephole, that was the other thing you got. So you could see who was on the other side. That's still going through my head. It was like the John Lennon song. I mean, imagine no religion. It isn't hard to do. Imagine no salesman. Come on, John Lennon, give us a chance. Okay, and we have out here the toilet. That's not original, that has been replaced at some stage. And in here, there's another cupboard. How handy is that? Making good use of the spaces, that is for sure. And the fridge, washing machine, trough. That's what's going on there. You've also got the door into the laundry, so if you don't want to hear the washing machine, you don't got to hear the washing machine. And this is stepping out to the enclosed patio. So, it's a neat space. It's perfectly okay. Like on the floor, you'll probably notice that it's a little bit of a different look there. That is because it did have carpet on it, and that is the remnant of the stick down underlay that was there. So you could scrape that back if you wanted to, or put something down over the top of it. All right, and out the back, which is where it's all happening. 686 square meters of land, folks. That is a big block. And the house is really, really well positioned on it. Like, you could get a granny flat out here if you wanted to. You could get a workshop out here. Council's fine with both of those things. In terms of subdividing, yeah, maybe. You'd have to talk to the council and get some answers on that. I would say up front, talk to the council. They'll probably say that it's a little bit too small. 686 square meters is just a touch shy, but they do have some allowances that they will consider under certain circumstances, and because of the width of that side access, they might be open to the conversation. That's a conversation for you to have with them. I don't get to make that decision. If it was up to me, I would say yes. In fact, I'd say do whatever you want, whenever you want. I mean, I'm no rebel, but, you know, it's your house, I reckon you should be allowed to. But anyway, that's up to them. Now, I'm looking up here, gutters. Gutters are good. The gutters have been replaced around the house. The downpipes have been replaced. Those are certainly not as old as the house. The fascias a little rusted, right? But that's just like surface. That's really more visual than anything, because the gutter, which is the main part that does the work of getting the water off the roof and down into the ground, that's all okay. That, I keep looking here, that's a gas instantaneous hot water system. I knew I'd get to it eventually. And that is a garden shed. It's all paved out here, so there's really, like, you could leave this like this and do nothing if you don't want to do something. It's not hard. If you're buying this as an investor, then, hey, it doesn't get much more simple than this for a tenanted property. If you're buying it as an owner-occupier, which I gotta be honest, I kind of hope you are. I'm not anti-investor, don't get me wrong, but I just reckon it's a great place to start. And if you're buying this as a home, it's an easy place to be, because you can do things at your own pace. There is nothing that is demanding your attention straight away out here. You can kind of just get to things at your own pace. You've got the room to be able to do a whole lot of stuff. And like for a granny flat, honestly, you could just about get a granny flat with its own frontage here. This is about, and I'm gonna just take a step it out kind of check. For those of you looked at these listings with me before, I have probably told you I'm about 173 centimeters male with a size 11 shoe. And so from here, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it's about 6 meters across the front of the property, which not across the front of the property, but from the side of the house to the fence. So that's cool. That gives you some options if you were doing a granny flat or a big workshop or anything really. There's a whole lot of space to work with. The house is nicely tucked across to the side. Now out the front, we've got this concrete driveway that runs from the road all the way down to the back. It's really straightforward. In here, a low maintenance garden. All very straightforward and easy for you to take care of. Now, one job that will be your job is across this side. The fence is, well, I wouldn't say missing. I don't know if it was ever there or how far down it came. Oh, there was a fence here at some stage. So the fence on this side has been removed. It's fine from the back. So if you've got kids and pets to think about, that's cool. But just along this front section here. So right now, I mean, don't tell anyone. I'm trespassing. I'm on the neighbor's side right now. See, there. Now I'm back at the property. Okay, so that's something to be aware of if you want to get that taken care of at some point between you and the neighbor. And that pretty much sums up what is going on here. I hope that very long tour has given you all the information you need to go, yep, that's the one that I've got to be in at. I can either make an offer without coming, I'm speaking as you now. I can make an offer without going to see it because I've seen so much in Mark's video, or I know that this is the one that I have to get to see in person. Whatever the case, you can get in touch with us anytime at markgrogan.com.au. Speak to the team. They'll talk you through what is needing to be done in order to submit an offer. But one thing's for sure, it's very practical. We have a structural report on this one as well. You can have a look over that in a lot of detail. It is being sold on an as is, where is basis. So, you can see things are working inside. Everything's all good there. But the structural side, which is where things really matter as well, that covers that detail for you. So hopefully you've seen what you need to see. In the meantime, get in touch if you have any further questions. This is a winner. I look forward to talking with you soon.